You go in the kitchen and make your own tea. Just a moment, okay? When I get home, there are people waiting for me with work or talk about our anthology Lepta.
Yulya, I brought the poems that you wanted for Lepta, but Dar says these are his only copies, so if you could type them up straight away, I can get them back to him.
Just a moment, just a moment. I must do this thing first.
So Julia took all this burden on her small shoulders and carried it. And she had most of the troubles. The men were hiding behind her narrow back. But finally, it was made by all of us, a big book, 32 poets, just a good pile. Julia was typing as hell.
Well, there's one thing that you can say about Yulya, that she lived by poetry. She was completely in it, in reciting, in organizing, in compiling. It was not her second nature. It was her first and only nature.
After midnight, finishing typing, Yulya has to hide the Lepta manuscript in the secret place. Who knows when the secret police come? Just in case.
Yes, Kostya. It really is war. With spies and everything. Just like in the movies. October 23rd. This evening we held a poetry recital. You should have seen the people. There were poets hanging from the chandelier, poets on the table, and under the table, and poetesses all over the sofa. Hello, everyone. As you all know, we're here to celebrate the completion of our anthology Lepta. The 32 poets we have chosen are the cream of Petersburg poetry. But there is another reason why Lepta is so special. We plan to take it to the Union of Soviet Writers and to the State Publishing House to demand that they publish it. And now, Peter, please, would you like to start the recital?
So, we run up the staircase of Nevsky Prospect, having stretched the sails of our clothes, running for everyone, hoping to find something to share like brothers among us, hoping to split it into half and half, a vision of heavenly freedom. In the heat of our desperate pursuit,
The whole purpose of submitting it to the publishing house was to confront the Soviet literary establishment with the existence of the whole generation of poets, highly professional poets, whose poetry nevertheless was not published in the Soviet Union.
We had no other choice. We had to do it finally. Because, you see, it is impossible to stay underground, to hide your manuscripts in your table and share it only with the closest friends. You want an audience, and it's the right, I guess, the human right of every poet all around the world. That was, Julia was defending, human right of a poet, artistic right of a poet to share his writings with the audience.
October 26th. Maya Borisova is the one who will review Lepta. I had a good talk with her.
Maya Borisova was one of us in the 50s, and she's an honest poet. But on the other hand, Lepta doesn't resemble the stuff they used to publish in the Soviet publishing houses. Doesn't resemble that kind of poetry.
To the memory of the eternally young soldiers fallen at the fronts of the great patriotic war, Requiem. Eternal glory to heroes. Eternal glory, eternal glory, eternal glory to heroes. Glory to heroes, glory.
All of them, nearly 99% in the Union of Writers, are behaving the same way. They depend on the system, and the system depends on them back to glorify the system.
I still repeat this. Glory eternal to heroes.
They depend because they are being paid. The system depends because they are glorifying the system. That's quite easy.
What next?
And the next item on the agenda is a review by Comrade Borisova of the somewhat controversial anthology Lepta.
Comrade Borisov.
Thank you, Comrade Chairman. Well, we've all been hearing a lot of stories and rumors about the book Lepta. I've had the chance to get to know it well, and this is what I think. All the poets in this collection have the right to be published. It is true that their poetry is quite different from the general trend of today's official poetry. However, it is still well within the main tradition of Russian verse. And there can be no doubt whatsoever about the skill of these young poets. Finally, I'd like to say that it is entirely our fault. That is the fault of the Writers' Union, that a whole generation of young writers exists outside the Union, and that this generation is forced to create for itself an independent literary medium of its own. Thank you, comrades. That's all. I'm finished.
She opened the book and she read it and said, "People, but that's poetry." They said to her, the others, "Shut up. We didn't need any kind of such review. We didn't need that you will promote that kind of poetry." So they turned the book to other reviewer.
October 27th. I came to the publishing house to ask Kachurin about Lepta and the review. He is a cockroach. So, what's going on?
That I can't tell you.
Why not? Because the review is a favorable one?
What makes you think so?
The review was written by Maya Borisova, and she's making no secret of it. So why are you?
I see. Yes, she wrote a favorable review, but we had a lot of trouble getting a second review.
Who is our second reviewer?
That I can't tell you.
When will the second review be ready?
I can't say. What's the hurry? If it does get printed, it won't be out till 1980.
1980? Yesterday never happened. All that's left is a vicious hangover. Only a dry law can save Russian letters.
How about this?
There is still no news of Lepta, but Victor has been making wicked plans to announce our existence.
So, what we must do? Everyone tattoos their poems all over themselves and parades around the streets in the nude.
Come on, be serious. But we must do something.
Haven't you heard about our letter to the Department of State Culture?
No.
Oh, I got a copy on me. There. Read it.
Listen to this. In accordance with the existing rules regulating public gatherings, a group of Leningrad writers and artists intends to publicly commemorate the 150th anniversary of the Decembrist uprising.
Signed Filimov, Gorichev, Krivulin. Hand me a pen, please. Thank you.
I've got an idea for a slogan.
Oh, God.
No. Long live the Decembrists, the first Russian dissidents.
In 1825, what is known now as the December Square in Leningrad was the place where a group of young army officers and noblemen revolted against the Tsar. Their attempt failed. 5 of them were summarily executed, others were sentenced to long prison terms. The Soviet official history regards them as original revolutionaries. But at the same time, we felt a kind of spiritual kinship with them.
The eve of the uprising. At midday tomorrow, we will walk up to the statue of the Bronze Horseman, bare our heads, and read our verses. I wonder how the authorities will act 7 hours from now. Surely they can't arrest us for honoring the Decembrists. It would be like publicly admitting they are no different from the Tsarist police. Finished?
Who is it? Police. Just a moment.
Citizen Akul?
Yes, I am.
Well, I didn't sleep in my curlers for nothing. 5 of them had come to get me. I use a lot of forethoughts in dressing. I put on plenty of warm things underneath, and on top I wore a pair of democratic jeans and my fanciest lace blouse.
Sit there.
They led me into the guardroom, and I got out the book of Chinese poetry, and I became immersed therein. After some time, a man in street clothes appeared.
Let's have a little talk.
Do you mind introducing yourself first?
Inspector Bogart.
Nice to meet you.
You are Yulya Nikolaevna Vosnesenskaya.
Absolutely right.
We received a complaint about you.
What kind of complaint?
A black marketeer is selling rugs in the Passage department store. Your description matches hers.
Who says so?
Now let's agree on one thing. I ask the questions.
Oh, excuse me.
Fine. Where do you usually go at noon?
At 12 o'clock, I usually start on my job.
Yes, but where did you plan to be at 12 o'clock today?
Today is Sunday, I don't work, and the Passage is closed.
What are you planning to do today at 12 o'clock?
To sit here and do my best to help you.
What were you planning to do at 12 o'clock today?
Oh, today at 12 o'clock. I have to be at an important culture event in the December Square.
Do go on, that's very interesting. What kind of a cultural event?
A memorial in honor of the Decembrists.
What is supposed to happen?
Oh, you know, nothing. Another boring poetic event.
You don't happen to be a poet, do you?
Yes, I do happen to.
I like poetry too.
You do?
Pushkin and...
Lermontov.
Lermontov and what's his name? Durany.
Byron.
Yulia Nikolaevna, excuse me, you have talked so interestingly about your poetic effort that I want to go myself and see what it's going to be like.
Go ahead. I am sure you will find it very interesting.
Have an apple.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to turn you over to the inspector in charge of this case.
But it's already 24 hours. I'm supposed to be on vacation.
Son! Get your man.
Hey, come on.
My new acquaintance and I had talked for about 3 hours. But I understood the game.
Let's go.
It was a game that could be lots of fun. So I decided to take a very active part in it.
Yulia Nikolaevna, why do you think you were brought here?
Why? They have explained everything to me. Because I am an alleged black marketer.
And you believe that?
Of course.
Yulia Nikolaevna, surely you realize by now that there is no swindler.
I don't believe it. How can you have swindling without a swindler?
There is no swindling going on.
So, what's going on around here?
You still don't have any idea?
No.
We are interested in the Decembrists.
You don't mean it. Then why are we fooling around since dawn?
I don't know why. Why don't you just tell me about it?
All right. What do you want to know?
Let's get it written down.
The last act of the comedy began. This whole idiotic arrest was nothing but a meaningless farce. But I thought to myself, oh, no, you don't. You won't get rid of me that easily.
Give me the names of the ones organizing this demonstration.
No.
All right. Never mind. Forget about the names. Here's a paper and a pencil. Write whatever you want. I just need to turn in a report. After all, I've been on vacation since 12 o'clock. I want to go home.
No. Give me more paper. I'm going to make it long and thorough. I will tell you everything about the Decembrists.
Well, Yulya was relaxing at the police station. Gun and Yulya Levin were on the Decembrist square.
Have an apple.
The square was completely encircled by the police and plainclothes people. And the streets in the vicinity were all filled, and I mean it, filled literally, with the police in the uniform and with soldiers.
It was our first time when we were face to face with army, with KGB, with police all around us. It's just 17 or 20 of us and few thousand of that, I don't know how to say. Forces, you know. Forces. Even with weapons.
It's only in Russia they react to poetry with the police force.